The Miller family were about to have their new house rewired. And before the electricians came, Mrs. Miller wanted to clear out the attic. So she got 2 of her 3 kids involved. "Ooh, look at this," said 8-year-old Max, pulling out an old trunk from under a pile of blankets. "What's this?" "It looks like an old TV." "Oh, that," said his older sister, 12-year-old Zoe, not really looking up from her phone. "That's one of Mom's weird antique things. Just leave it there." But Max wasn't gonna leave it there. He yanked the trunk open and started rifling through the yellowed lace and moth-eaten clothes inside. "There's nothing in here but old junk," he said, disappointed. But then he saw it, a small wooden box hidden between some old photo albums and a chipped teacup. Max pulled it out and blew off the dust. The box was ornately carved with roses and vines, and when he opened it, he found a very pretty hand mirror. "Wow, it's beautiful," he breathed, turning it over in his hands. It was about the size of a textbook and framed by a silver filigree. But when he looked into it, instead of seeing his own face staring back, he saw a face that was anything but his own. The nose was long and thin like a snake's, with 2 beady little eyes poking out at him from either side of it. And for a mouth, there was just a big red slit that stretched all the way back into the darkness behind it. Max screamed and dropped the mirror, which bounced once and then landed upright again. This time the creature in the mirror didn't have a nose or eyes or even a mouth. Instead, its face was just a mass of writhing tentacles. Max let out another scream and scrambled back, tripping over a loose floorboard. He hit his head hard and everything went black. When he came to, he could hear Zoe laughing hysterically. "You okay?" she asked between giggles, helping him up. "Yeah, I think so," he said, still shaken. "What was that thing in the mirror?" Zoe shrugged. "No idea. Some freaky demon thing, maybe. That mirror is seriously creepy. Let us get out of here before something nasty crawls out of it and tries to kill us." She grabbed the trunk and together they carried it downstairs and dumped it into the living room. Then they both went to get their mother. "Look what I found," Zoe told her, dumping the contents of the trunk onto the floor. "Mrs. Miller picked up the ornate box and smiled. "Ah, so you found my vanity mirror. It belonged to my grandmother. She used to keep it up here. Said it was magic, magic." Max asked, wrinkling his nose. "Like a genie in a bottle kind of magic." "Well," said Mrs. Miller, "I don't know about Jenny's, but it does have a sort of funny way of playing tricks on people. You see," she lowered her voice conspiratorially, "it only shows you what you want to see. Or rather," she added with a sly smile, "what you secretly want to be." She closed the box and put it on a shelf. "Now don't go messing with it. You never know what kind of chaos it might unleash." But Max couldn't help himself. Later that afternoon, when Mrs. Miller had gone out shopping, he snuck back upstairs to grab the mirror. He wanted to show it to his best friend Billie Eilish. Billie always liked weird stuff like this. Holding the mirror in front of him, he stared into the glass, willing it to show him something cool. All he saw was his own goofy grin. Disappointed, he turned away. But then he heard a voice behind him say, "Hello there, Max." Startled, he whirled around, but there was no one there. "Who said that?" he whispered, looking around nervously. But the attic was empty. He must have imagined it. Relieved, he turned back to the mirror. "Okay, show me something cool," he demanded. "Like a monster or something." And the mirror obliged. The grotesque face twisted into a wide grin and stuck its long red tongue out at him. Max screamed and dropped the mirror again. It fell right next to the old trunk and knocked something else out of the way, an old oil lamp with a brass genie popping out of it. "Ooh, I'm free!" the genie cried. "And to show my gratitude for releasing me, I will grant you 3 wishes." Max wasn't sure what to wish for. He thought about being rich, but then he remembered what his mom had said about the mirror showing you what you secretly want to be. Maybe this genie wish would somehow make that come true. I want to look really cool," he finally said. "Whatever you wish," said the genie, waving his magic wand. And suddenly Max felt a jolt of energy shoot through him. He looked down at his hands and gasped. They were now green and scaly with sharp claws at the end. Looking down the rest of his body, he saw that he had become a green scaly dinosaur with a long tail and a huge head with a pair of horns on top. The genie waved his magic wand again. "And for your first wish, you shall be the coolest dinosaur that ever lived, the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex." Max roared with delight. He stomped around the attic, feeling powerful and strong and invincible. And he stopped to admire his reflection in the vanity mirror. The T-Rex in the glass stared back at him, snarling and baring its teeth. Max grinned back, feeling like the luckiest kid in the world. He was so excited to show his new dino self to Billy. He ran out of the attic and burst into the living room where his mom was watching TV. "Mom, look," he shouted, doing his best T-Rex roar. "Misses." Miller jumped and stared at him in disbelief. "What happened to you, Max? What did that stupid mirror do to you?" she cried. "It didn't do anything," Max said, confused. "I wish I looked cool. So I used the genie's magic and I'm a dinosaur." "A dinosaur?" his mom echoed, slowly getting up. "You're not a dinosaur, Max. You're a dog." Max stared down at his body and whined. The genie hadn't turned him into a T-Rex. He was a corgi. He shook himself off and tried to bark ferociously, but all that came out was a little woof. His mom rushed over and hugged him. "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. That stupid mirror," she cried. "I should have thrown it out ages ago." But then she paused. "Actually, maybe this will teach you a lesson about being careful what you wish for. Who knows? Maybe you'll learn to appreciate what you have, even if it doesn't seem cool or exciting." She stroked his head. "Don't worry, buddy. I'm sure this will wear off eventually." As it turned out, Mrs. Miller was right. Max went back upstairs to try and reverse the spell, but the mirror just showed him laughing uncontrollably at his reflection, which only made him laugh more. So he gave up and went to tell his best friend Billy about his dino dog self. Billy was super excited. "Can I touch it?" he asked as soon as he saw Max. "Sure," said Max, and Billy started tickling his ears. "This is so cool! Are you sure you're not a real T-Rex? You feel like one to me." "I know, right?" said Max, wagging his tail. "This is the best day ever!" And they started running around the playground, howling and yelping like a pack of wild dogs. Other kids joined in, and soon they were all running around, making up a game, pretending to be dinosaurs. Even Zoe joined in, although she kept insisting that she was actually a majestic lion. Mrs. Miller watched them from afar, shaking her head with a smile. The vanity mirror was still sitting in the living room, and every time she walked past, it seemed to mock her with its strange, unsettling reflections. But maybe, just maybe, those strange reflections weren't so bad after all. As long as they brought joy and laughter to people, even if that meant they also brought a few extra stretch marks, giant eyes, and upside-down mouths.